Good afternoon. This is Debbie Davis. It is September 11th, 2025. Okay, so I just had an incident this morning in Minnesota. It's becoming very unsafe to live here, and I've been, we know who the bad people are in our state, and the people of Minnesota need to take action against Tim Walz and Senator Klobuchar. These people are dangerous. Okay. I don't even believe they're real politicians. I don't believe they ever have been. I believe they work for the CIA. I believe they're CIA assets. There's so much corruption behind both of them, involved in all this, every scandal you can imagine. Omar's involved in multiple voting scandals, all these different scandals, and Tim Walz is gave the entire Minnesota surplus to the Muslim Brotherhood. It's just like, no regular politician would do that type of thing. I don't believe these people are real politicians, and I believe they were involved in the murder of Melissa Hortman and that other senator. I believe they were. I 100% believe they were. So I just had this vehicle drive by me this morning. And I'm just going for a walk, and he tries to come really close to me. He's rolling down his window, and he had something in his hand. So I started videotaping, and then he drove past. You have to always have something on you to videotape these people. And just like what this one video was saying, you don't ever let somebody sit behind you. Like what happened with the stabbing in North Carolina. And I fully believe the Masons were involved in the stabbing in North Carolina, because there's so many Masonic temples in that area. Okay. I've been myself, and I've had different women on my channel that have talked about the harassment that they've received from the police Masons, the Mason police. My friend Charlene was on. My friend Tommy, who had a major issue with the police just because he started speaking out about concussions when he was a football player. Anybody that's just tries to speak out about anything. The Masons are involved in the targeting program. So I believe this was just an attempt on my life. And these people, and we still don't know if this Lance guy is really in jail, and we still don't know if the Utah guy has been caught, and we know now it's coming out that that they fully believe that this shooter, you see footage of him on the roof, whoever was the security there clearly didn't do their job. They were protecting Charlie Kirk, and I remember Charlie Kirk. Yeah, he was always. I think he was at the White House, and he had youth at the White House, and he was definitely a good influence, not a bad influence, and he was really trying to help the youth. Well, it's horrible what they went through over COVID. Okay, and then speaking of COVID, that's the other thing I want to talk about, is that now I know for sure that these nurses that did this to me at the blood bank, I know for sure they are not real nurses. They're something called contact tracer nurses. Okay, they started coming into the hospitals during COVID, because they were they needed more people around that. So you had something called contact tracer nurses involved in over COVID. Okay, so it says right here, a contact tracer nurse is somebody who identifies and notifies people exposed to a communicable disease like COVID-19 by interviewing infected individuals, understand their activities or close contacts. Okay, then they started hiring all these people that were supposedly these aren't real nurses. They were supposed to be just for that period of time. COVID is over now. And so these people should not still be working at the hospitals. And they've infiltrated the VA. They've infiltrated multiple hospitals, and they are dangerous. And they are not real nurses. And they were only supposed to be there during the time of COVID. Okay, now they've infiltrated the blood banks. They're causing a blood shortage. Okay, these are very dangerous nurses that were involved in bad things during COVID. These are, I don't even believe and I believe they are getting paid by the CIA. I mean, who else would be paying them? The most corrupt agency on the planet, the CIA. Of course, it's the CIA paying them, or Homeland Security money, one of the two. Okay, most corrupt agencies. So I mean, yeah, we have very serious problems here. I think the veterans should just get together and physically just remove these people, like this Nikki woman at the patient advocate. I mean, it's like she's deep state. I mean, they forget that they work for us, the veterans. You wouldn't even have a job at the VA if it wasn't for the veterans. You have to remember that they work for us. So you as veterans should come together and get these people removed, and just tell the hospital, we're not going to tolerate this person as an employee, and just have them physically removed. They're not real nurses. This Nikki, a patient advocate, she's one of them. Okay, she needs to be physically removed from her position. These are not real nurses. They've infiltrated these areas ever since COVID. Okay, and so what is a contract tracer nurse? Okay, so let's see. Because this is something new to me too. Okay, no, it says that they're supposed to be RNs, but they're not. That's why they won't show me their ID, is because they are not real RNs. They're supposed to be real registered nurses, but they're not. They have fake IDs. That's why they didn't want to. That's why they don't want to give their names, and they don't want to show their badges. Okay, so they 100% know what they're doing is illegal. So somebody has to take it seriously, because they're dangerous. These are very dangerous nurses that can kill people. They can kill people. They're killers. Okay? So, then I did this video about these data centers, and then somebody showed me this video about, okay, so what are they doing in these data centers? Apparently they're creating some kind of weather center. Okay, they apparently have created some kind of, that's what